Alright guys, today we're coming at you with another video. Basically today we're going to be working on the LP560's lift system. So this vehicle here has basically a hydraulic pump in it, and it has some different dampeners than what you would see on the front of some other vehicles. And basically there's a button inside you can press to lift the front of the vehicle up if you want to clear some big speed bumps or trying to get in really steep driveways. You can activate that system and it'll lift the front up. Not very much, I think maybe a couple inches at the most. Don't quote me on that, but it does help out when you can actually get it up. Even every little bit matters when you're trying to get in certain situations where you need to get into some steep angles and stuff like that. So basically what we got going on here is the pump itself. I'm assuming there's a leak there because there's fluid everywhere. It's not everywhere. It looks like it's been leaking for quite a while. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull out the trunk space, and let me go over here and show you here. So this compartment right here, and you can see I got all kinds of stuff in here now, but this whole compartment right here just pulls right on out, okay? And even the seal, just leave you don't have to pull the seal off or anything like that. Everything comes out. So you're gonna have 4 fasteners, 2 on this side here and 2 on this side here. Of course I got stuff in there. Let me pull this out and I'll show you where those fasteners are at. And then you're gonna have a plug. As you're pulling this up, you're gonna have a plug for there's a little trunk light in there, and there's a 12-volt accessory adapter there, so you can plug like the pump that's in here for to pump your tires up. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull this out and I'll show you where those fasteners are. All right, here's our trunk space right here. This is that plastic tub that I was telling you about, and you can see right here it's just all one big unit. And the seal, you see the seal, I've seen where some people take that off and they pull this out. I don't see any reason why. It's just on here. It snaps around here, so I don't know why you would want to take it off. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. So yeah, that's it. It's all one piece. So you're going to have 2 fasteners here. This is really easy, guys. You see down there, there's 2. I already took the fasteners out, of course, but there's 2 fasteners go there, and then let me put this back real quick. Kinds of stuff in here, and then you're going to have a plug right here for your light, and for your 12-volt adapter in here for your air pump or whatever you want to use it for. So yeah, that's it, and it just pulls right out. I like it. So yeah, it's pretty simple to take that out. So now let's go over and look at the pump in the car. Okay, I decided before we get to the pump, I went ahead and put this tub back in real quick. And I was trying to figure out, I just couldn't figure out why these people were still pulling this seal out, So what I did was I followed it all the way around, and I noticed something on the back side here. So there's tabs. Okay, I'm going to try and see if I can point to this. There's one there. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, there's one there. There's one there. There's one there. So I don't know if you can see that in the video. Let me see if I can blow this up. See that little tab right there? Basically, right above there, there's a little slot. This cowling, here, let me zoom out here. This cowling right here, it fits in that groove, okay? So right now it's not in the groove, it's down below it. So I was trying to think, okay, how am I going to get that in the groove? And how are you going to get it out? So what I did was, so when I put it in there, I was trying to get it back in the groove. I was putting tools, in here, trying to pry it out. What I found out is just take these there's cover here for your brake fluid, then one there for your pump, okay? Then what you do is you just take this and you just push up. You see it? Just snap it into place. Here, well, that's not here, but anyway, you get the idea. So basically, I just run it across, snap it in. I already tried it a couple of times. It works perfect. So just go in here and then get on this side here and just pull it and snap it. See it snapped in? And this snaps in 2 seconds, okay? So then when you take it out, I just grab it right here, pull it this way, And see, you hear them all release. They all popped loose. They all released. Okay, and then take your fasteners out. So yeah, so you still don't have to take the seal out. Okay, that I can see. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know why they're taking the seal out. I don't think I'm missing anything else. So yeah, so remember when you're putting this in, those tabs were never in because the whole time I was taking this, I've had it out multiple times, and it's never caught on anything. But now that I snapped them in, it definitely grabs on the cowling. Okay, so yeah, it was never put in properly before I got the car. So now when I put it back in, I'll put it back in the right way. Okay, just wanted to show you that real quick, just in case you didn't know that. So let's go ahead and get this out and get to the pump. All right, so here's what it looks like under that plastic tub that comes out. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on under here, and you notice it's very dusty and dirty. So it's going to get that way because you got a lot of air coming in through the front. Let me see if I can get under here and show you. Probably see, I don't know, there's all kinds of nooks and crannies under here where air works its way through, and it's kind of just going everywhere in here. Let me see. So yeah, there's a lot of air moving around under here while you're driving, and then you know you're going to get dust and debris from other cars coming in, and of course I drive this in the rain too. It doesn't matter. I drive it, you know. So you can get, you know, moisture that's going to migrate in here, so it's not a big deal. If you want to clean it, just pull that tub out and you can just wipe it down. So yeah, and now here is the pump. It sits over here on the passenger side. So it kind of looks big in the video, but it's not that big. See my hand right here? It's very small. It's very compact. Looks like it's gonna be really easy to remove this. So basically, you're gonna have your electric motor here. This is your pump housing. This one has an internal reservoir, and you can see right here. And how you access it through this cap right here. You just remove this little cover, and you can put fluid in it. And then here's your, you know, you got a solenoid up there. You got a sensor. There's your plug for your electric motor. So anyway, and then you have this line here, and this one's a quick release. You just pull this and pop it off, okay? And so this line goes back here and it goes to the dampeners, okay? And then puts pressure to the dampeners, which lifts the car up. So yeah, and you can see it's pretty, I think it's been leaking for a very, very long time, okay? You can even still see it's kind of wet there, okay? And it almost looks like it might be coming from here. I see a lot on top here. But I don't know. Somebody could have overfilled this and it could have ran down and just been left there and never cleaned. And then dirt just got kind of stuck to the fluid, the hydraulic fluid, okay? But you definitely want to check this. And the reason why I say you want to keep an eye on this is because there's some grounds right below here. And I'm going to show you the ground for the battery right here. If you follow it over, see it right there, and look, it's all covered in see here, it's covered in hydraulic fluid, okay? And then and there you have another ground down there too. So that's not a good thing, and because that fluid can actually contaminate the ground, and then you can have all kinds of issues with the vehicle, okay? So we definitely want to get this fixed now, okay? So basically what I'm going to do is, I don't know where it's leaking at. So probably what I'm going to do is I'll probably split this video up into 2 segments. So what I'll do is right now we'll just pull the pump out, okay? We'll kind of look it over. And then we'll clean it up, wipe it down. And then what I'll do is we'll come back in here and then we'll clean all this area up here as best we can. Pull those grounds off. We'll check those. We'll clean those up, and then we'll reinstall those grounds, and then we'll put the pump back in. And then what we can do is either we could, some of these fittings here, like, because there's a lot right here, so there could be a small leak right here. So this is very easy. There's like a sensor here. What we can do is probably remove this. It wouldn't take that long, and maybe put some Teflon tape on it and see if it stops it, because it's awful dark right here. So it makes me think that there's fluid coming out and it's migrating up and around. Okay, So that's one area. If there's any other areas we can put some Teflon tape, we'll do that also while we have it out. So yeah, we'll just make this video on that, and we'll put it back in. It shouldn't take that long. And then what we'll do is we'll make an update video and come back and we'll see if it's leaking anymore. And if it is, we'll maybe put some new O-rings, or wherever it's leaking at, we'll fix it, okay? So let me go ahead and get this pump out, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, guys, you know what I decided to do? Let me try to film this showing you taking it out, okay? I'll just show you some of the steps. So basically what we're going to do, let's go here. This tool is like the bomb right here. If you ever get some of these little hook tools, grab them, because, man, I use these for everything. You can see me in the videos. Just going to push this tab in here and then pull this connector. And then this one over here is really tight. Let me see if it shows in the camera. Yeah, I can see it. So what I'm going to do is, you can see this right here. You're going to push in like right here, and then you can pull. Same thing right here. It's really tight right here. Just push it in, and then pull it off. Okay, so those are disconnected there. This is harness here. All right, and then we got this little pressure switch here. Finger. Okay, that's off there. And then this right here is a little clip. Here, pliers here. I'm gonna pull this up. Okay. Let's see if I can hook over here. Usually these come right out. This one's being stuck. There we go. All right. Oops. Get my head on there. Okay, got that out. And it's nasty under here. Okay, slide that off. We got this right here, so hopefully no fluid comes out. It shouldn't, but let's see. Just gonna pull this off, and there we go. Okay, release that. Get over here, out of the way. All right, so we got everything disconnected. And this harness is hooked on here, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is there's a fastener right here. We're gonna take this fastener out here. It's got a little notch cut in there, so you can probably spring it this way and then pop it up and then let it come out, and then we can reach. There's another fastener just like that. There's one more. It's right under here. So we'll have to get a little Torx, a little tool to reach under there and loosen that up, and then it should come out. So let me go ahead and let me do, because that's probably going to take a couple minutes to do to get that fastener out in the back here. So let me do that, and then we'll pull it out and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, well, I was going to show it to you on the bench, but I ran across a little issue here, and I just wanted to show you before I take it all the way out. So the fastener here, you're going to need okay, remember I said there's a fastener here, there's one under here. Well, you can actually access it here. You got to take that panel off, and you can reach down there with an extension. But let me see if I can pull this out before you. Now, if you have sonic tools, this is a T30H. Okay, the socket. Let me show you. You got to have a special socket, because if you can see it, it has like a little pin in the center there. So it's like I guess it's almost like a security feature. I'm assuming. I don't know, to keep you from messing with it. So yeah, you got to have a socket that has the hole in the middle to get that off. Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you that. So now I'm going to go ahead and take that last bolt out, and then we'll definitely have it on the bench this time. All right, we got the pump out. One thing I forgot to tell you, disconnect anytime you're working with electrical, just disconnect the negative battery, okay? I forgot to mention that. All right, this is what we got going on. It's really nasty under here. It's super nasty. Like I said, I think it's been leaking for a while. One thing I noticed too, there was another bolt over here. I missed it. Okay. I want to say these two. Let me go look over here. Yeah, I think maybe this bolt was the only one that had that little pin in it, because I don't see them, and I don't think it was on that one either. I think it was just that one. Okay. Yeah, so there was another fastener there, so it was 3 of them. Okay. There's the line. All right. And yeah, there's not much So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and we'll get some warm soap and water, and we'll get some simple green, and then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and wipe all this down. We'll clean up as best we can. Okay, that's what I'm going to do before we put the pump back in. But like I said, I just wanted y'all to see what this looks like here. Okay. All right, so let's go to the bench. Let's head over to the bench now. Okay, we got the pump on the bench, finally, right? After 3 times saying I'm going to have it on the bench. Yeah, and the video is going to look big, okay? Like I said, there's my hand, so that gives you a good comparison. So it's a pretty small little pump. So yeah, you see that's where that cup link goes into right there, that quick release fitting. So when you put that on there, it pushes that pin in the center right there, and then releases the fluid, lets it flow, okay? There's a solenoid. All right, and this is probably some kind of pressure sensor, I'm guessing. Yeah, you can see this harness just stays on there. Let's go ahead and spin it around here. Look at the other side. And yeah, there's not much there really. That's the motor. There's rubber dampeners on here. You got some here. And there's 2 on the bottom down here. So yeah, so we'll check those out. Let's let's go ahead and roll this over. Let's look at the bottom. Okay, it's got some weight to it. I'll tell you what, if you want to save some weight, take this out. And there's the bottom. Rubber dampeners. When you're taking this out too, this clip will be holding some hoses. There's a hose going to the washer sprayer. The ones that pop up from the headlights that spray, and then there's the hose that's coming off of the pump itself with this connector. So what I did with this is just it snaps into place, so you can just take it, just slide it to the side and let it come out that groove, and it'll pop right out. Yeah, or you can just push on this little piece here, push on it hard. But it was kind of hard. It was at a bad angle where I can get to it. But you can push on that and then it'll release it. Okay. Yeah. Oh, there's that fastener. Let me get this out. Let's see if it has that pin in it. Yeah, this one don't have the pin in it. Okay, it was just that one. Okay. We'll just set that there. So let's lift this up. And I know when I checked the fluid in it, it's been a little while, but the fluid level was good in it. The last time I checked it. Let me see something here. I don't know if we can see it in here. Let's see. Is this whole thing coming off? The whole thing's supposed to not come off there. Huh. Okay, I'll tell you what, let's just take it off anyway. Let's see what's going on here. Gotta be careful, make sure no dirt gets in there. Probably should have cleaned this off, but I just wanted you to see all the dirt that was on here. Let me see here. Yeah. It's a little dipstick. So it's definitely got fluid in it. Like I said, the last time I checked it, I mean, I rolled it around, so it's going to be off. But the last time I checked it, it was good. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll have to. I think just this cap's supposed to come off here. So anyway, yeah. What I'm going to do now is just clean this thing down. Just wipe it down really good, and I'll get it as best I can. Yeah, we'll clean it up, and then what we'll do is this fitting here. I know when I take it out, I'll try to keep fluid from coming out of it, but this would be something I can probably do real quick. Is while we got it out, I can just remove this, and I'm almost thinking it's coming from here because, like I said, you see it right here. It might be leaking from around here. So we'll just take this out. Maybe we can get some Teflon tape on it and see if that'll help it out. So yeah, let me go ahead and get this cleaned up, and then what we'll do is I'll get the car cleaned up, and then we'll come back. All right, so we have the pump pretty much cleaned up now, and I went ahead and took it off the bracket. There was just so much dirt that was accumulated under there. There was no way I could clean it, so I just went ahead and took it off. Really easy. There was like 4 fasteners that hold it on there. Really, it needed to come off anyway because there was let me see here. There was a rubber. If you see it right there, I guess when they put the pump in, they rolled it over and then bolted it down like that, so it's kind of stuck there. So what we'll do is I'll bend this back. It's been there for all these years. I don't know if it was done at the factory, probably so. So we'll bend it back and then we'll slide the pump in and it'll be nice and flat again. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything, but still. So yeah, the bracket looks good. So yeah, that's there. And then the pump, what I did was we got it cleaned up now. And then, I have a couple choices. I can just put it back in because it's very easy to take out. I mean, probably take you 15 minutes to get it out, maybe 10. But the thing is, the way the dirt was accumulated in this area at the bottom here, I think the leak is going to be right here at this seal. But yeah, so what I could do is I could have left it alone, just put it back in there, and then just keep using it, and then come back in a short period of time, and then look and just see where it's leaking at. Because with it dirty, it's very hard to see. And then, or what I'm going to do, since I already have it out, and I have a pretty good, I think it's going to be leaking from here. So what I'm going to do is I went ahead and took it out, and I think there's ATF fluid in there, but it's red, but it sure looks like ATF fluid. So yeah, I know you can use ATF fluid in the F1 systems. I know we used to put it in the Ferraris and stuff like that. I mean, you can't just put anyone in there, but you definitely can use a certain brand and a certain type of fluid to put in there. So I'm assuming this is probably the same way. I don't know right offhand. I'll have to do some research on that, and then once I get it in there, we'll check the level, and if it's off, we'll top it back up. So anyway, there's that sensor I pulled out right here, and then there's that washer. I thought it was a crush washer at first, but it's got a seal on it. It's built into the inside part of the washer. I'm thinking it's just old. It needs to be replaced. The problem is I can't get that washer right now. It's there's nothing open. I mean, I can probably go to a hydraulic shop. There's one down the road, and they actually built some quick release lines for my scissor lift, because I don't like when I'm not using it, which is not all the time. I mean, recently, doing the videos, I've been using it, but besides that, I haven't used it in quite some time. So what I do is I like to take well, actually it's right here. Let me show you. What I'll do is I'll take this and I'll put it in, I have some another storage that's outside the backyard, and then I'll take this out and put it in the shed out there, and just to get it out of the way. But I have quick release connectors on here, so I can take the lines and everything off and then just roll it up and put it away. So that company is phenomenal. They'll come in there and they'll do anything they can to help you. So I'm sure they're going to have these type of washers in there. I bet you they do, but they're closed down, and there's no telling when they're going to open up because of the virus. So what we'll do right now is I'll just try to put some kind of sealer on there. Usually I'll use like some ultra gray, and we'll put some of that on there. If you've never used ultra gray, let me show you what it is right here. I have a new tube of it. That right there, this stuff is just unbelievable. Okay, I use this on Ferraris and Lambos, on engine parts and everything like that. I use this. And what you do is basically it's going to make a gasket, and then what you want to do is whatever part you're putting it on, when you tighten the fasteners down, you tighten it only enough to where you see the gasket sealer start to squeeze out barely, and then you stop. You let it dry for an hour, and then you come back and you torque it to spec, okay? And I've never had an issue where I've ever had this leaked, ever. No matter what kind of vehicle it is. It could be a Toyota, it could be a Lamborghini, it could be a Ferrari. Every time I use this, never leaked. So I'm not advising you to do this and just let it go. We're just going to use this as a temporary fix, and let's see if it works until we can order the right part, okay? So definitely don't just use this on there and leave it if you decide to go there. I don't even know if it's going to work, to tell you the truth. But we have to do something, because I don't want it just to constantly leak out and make another mess again, okay? And also, I took the ground out, the cable, and remember I told you the leak had ran down the vehicle and had actually contaminated this, and it was soaked in fluid, okay? So it was still working, but it was just a matter of time for this ground failed, and there was another ground in there also. and it was soaked in fluid too. It actually had soaked inside this heat shrink wrapping here, so I'm sure it's all inside here, and it can contaminate the inside of this connector here. Even though it's pressed together, it can still contaminate it in there. So probably what I'll do, I don't have this size of heat shrink here, so what I'm going to do is later, once I can get a hold of some, I'm going to cut this off of here, and then I'm going to clean that that oil, that hydraulic fluid that's in there, and then clean that all out, and hopefully it won't be that bad. So hopefully I'll cut this off, maybe it won't be that bad, but if it is bad, then like I said, I'll just have to keep an eye on it. Then we'll just put another piece of heat shrink on there, but I would still like to get in there and see what's going on. So we'll have to order that, and I don't know, I might not get that because all the shipping's down from the virus. But anyway, it's cleaned up now, and I wire brushed it, and it looks like brand new on the backside. So it's going to make a really good connection. I wire brushed inside the car, so that's clean now. The other ground is good. So yeah, so what we'll do now is we'll put some of this gasket sealer on here for a temporary fix. Put this sensor back in there, snug it down. We'll give it an hour. We'll come back and we'll tighten it down, and then we'll put this back in the bracket here. Put the 4 fasteners in to hold it, and then remember we had that rubber mount that was all bent up there. We'll straighten that up and get that the way it's supposed to be. Also too, I'll just go, because I kind of wiped this all down and everything, and then it was just so much grease I had to actually take it outside and spray it down and scrub it with simple green with a toothbrush. You know what I mean? So what I'll do is I'll double check these connectors. They're dry, but just in case, I'm going to blow these out with some compressed air just to make sure. And like I said, we'll put this back together, and then we'll get it in the car, and yeah, that should be it. So let me go ahead and put this together, and then we'll come back when I get it in the car. All right, you know what? I wanted to show you something before I put this in there, and one thing is, okay, I already got some sealer on there. Just put a very little bit on there. Don't put too much, because you don't want it when you go to snug that down. You want it to squeeze out, and some of it may get into to where the fluid is in there. Okay, so just use very little. And it's already been an hour already, and I already snugged it down. It's just a 17 millimeter wrench. But one thing I didn't realize when I started taking out is I didn't have to unplug all these right here. See right here? So yeah, all you really have to unplug is this one plug right here, and then disconnect that hydraulic hose right there, and that's it. And then do the fastener, it comes right out. Okay. So yeah, so I was just looking at that, and I was like, hold on a minute, I didn't have to take these loose. So yeah, you can leave those. You can leave those. Everything else connected. Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna put it in the car now. All right, she's in. It turned out pretty good. Really simple. God, I think it only took not even 10 minutes to put it in. But yeah, it's really clean now. So we got all the connectors put back into place. Got that snap ring back in there. This is hooked up. That's hooked up. Just pull this back, push it on, and release it, and it'll lock on. Okay. That's on. This is on. The bolts are tightened up. I went ahead and marked the bolts too. And then the ground's on. Okay, sit under there. That's in place. Yeah, I'll have to do a little bit more wiping in here. I cleaned up as best as I could, but it's hard. I mean, it'd be better to pressure wash it or something, but I don't want to get water around these electronics. So yeah, it looks way better. Yeah, I forgot, when you take this out, remember I was saying you didn't have to unplug all these. Just 3 of them. Just take this fastener off here, this off here, and disconnect this here. And take those 3 bolts off, and the whole thing comes out. Okay, that's really easy. So yeah, let me go ahead and let's go ahead and let me see if I can put this on a tripod, and I'll lift it up, and you can see it as I check it, make sure it works. All right, guys, I think that's it. She works good. The fluid still looks full. Just checked it, and I think, see, I haven't used, I've had this car over a year now, and like I said, I haven't used the lift pump because it was leaking, and I didn't want spraying out anywhere. So in that time, over a year, the level hasn't dropped, so it stayed full. So I don't think the pump was leaking when it was just sitting there. I think when you were actually using it, I think fluid was spraying out somewhere, was leaking out, and then migrating to other areas. So that's what I think it is. And now that I used it, I went ahead and lifted it up and down a couple times, and I looked, and I don't see any leaks anywhere, especially that washer right there where I put that sealer on there. Yeah, so we'll start using it now more often. Every time I take it out, I get out the driveway. Like I said, I just take deeper angles when I leave. You know, I've been driving lowered vehicles for 30-something years, so I'm kind of used to it now. But you know, now I'll start using it more often, and we'll come back and we'll check it and see if she's leaking. Okay. But anyway, this will be a temporary fix until we can get a hold of that washer. So as soon as all this virus stuff goes away and these businesses open up, first I'll try Lamborghini and see if they can order it, and if not, then I'll go to that hydraulic place. But in the meantime, looks like it's fixed. Okay. And also, I feel better about that ground down there now that's cleaned up, because I've had some issues with some grounds, and especially in a Ferrari. I was in a Ferrari one time going through an intersection, and it just completely died dead in the water, and we had a bad ground in it, and it was contributed. It was in the back of that cutoff switch, the battery cutoff switch. We had a bad ground back there, and so yeah, I know about those grounds because they always go out in the worst spots. So yeah, I was dead in the water in the middle of an intersection. So you can imagine the people's reaction, you know, making fun of you and stuff like that. So very embarrassing. So anyway, yeah, it looks like this pump really easy fix. Anybody can do this right here. Okay. But yeah, so I feel better about it being fixed now. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry it took so long making this, but I just wanted to kind of detail a little bit. And then just be safe out there, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Okay, we'll talk to you later. Okay, bye.